Disney List Time, where we take a look at some of the best and some of the least best of Disney parks. Today, it's all about Disney California Adventure and what specifically is so great about Avengers Campus. Some of the best things about Avengers Campus is what we are going to be discussing. Tyler Crouch, Katrina Manzoni here to discuss it. They are two people who not only produced a wonderful sort of tip vlog here on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel. If you haven't seen that, be sure to check it out, as to what you can experience at Avengers Campus. They were able to, get that into action as the, no pun intended, get that into action the very week of Avengers Campus opening up. So you were able to get an understanding as to the lay of the land and all the things you can anticipate. But we're going to ask them what are some of the best things in their mind when they went and experienced everything Avengers Campus had to offer. What topped the list? Katrina, let's start with you. Best things about Avengers Campus.
Okay. I love all of the action that's happening inside. I like the music. It gets you really involved. Like, even before you're even stepping in the land, you already anticipate stuff. So then you finally step in, and then you get this like action sounds, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm like in here. Something's going to happen any minute. And then all of a sudden, if you wait, like, now they actually posted the times for SpiderMan. Before, they just said if he comes out, he comes out, It's SpiderMan. He just does whatever he wants. And now they posted the time. So if you're able to catch that, it's really neat. And he like flies through the air, and then you're like, what more can happen now? And then you just keep walking, and then like Black Widow's there, and she's doing her stuff. Oh my god, like the perfect timing. And then and then Black Panther's there, and they do this fight sequence, and then the Dora Milaje come out a little bit later down the road, and that's really neat. It's just, everything just keeps happening, and then it just seems like so cohesive, and it's really fun to see the characters. I think the food is great. If you're able to like get it and get a mobile order. I love those tater tots. They're like so good. I'm obsessed with tater tots. If anybody wants to get to my heart, it's tater tots.
Tater tots are the way, huh?
Yeah. I love tater tots. But anyway, the food's great. I love it. And then even the nighttime, like if you're able to like stick around, because before you pretty much had to wait in this like huge line, and now we hear that since everything's kind of changed with the rules of Disneyland and the spacing, it's actually not a long wait to actually get inside the land now. Yeah, so you're able to like come and go and not be like, okay, if we want to see the nighttime, we cannot leave, when you're here. So we're, the nighttime stuff, I think going around the ancient sanctum. That's very hard to say for me. Doctor Strange area. That is probably the coolest place at night. I mean, even if you just take a walk, a stroll around the campus, it's really cool. But I think that's like my favorite part in the nighttime, is just to kind of like hang out there. It's, I don't know, it's like kind of romantic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know. Elegant and romantic. Yeah. Very nice. What tops your list, Tyler?
So for me, like as Katrina was alluding to with like the different shows and things that pop off while you're hanging out in Avengers Campus, I think one of my favorite things that I really hope that Disney takes into account in a lot of other lands and even just existing lands and stuff like that it's the fact that these characters like Spider-Man, they perform this show basically for everybody, make it feel like it's, a lived-in place, a place where Spider-Man is actually hanging out. He comes around from like one side of the building, and then he makes his way all the way around, like on top of the building, like, so that if you're on like all sides of that building, you're going to see Spider-Man at some point. And then he comes down and does a meet and greet with everybody. Like, that's, I think, my favorite thing, that they tell a story, and then from that story, he comes and takes pictures with people. Like, and they do that with Doctor Strange, where Doctor Strange does his little magic show, and then he calls Thor, and then Thor comes out and starts meeting with people. And, I just think that is a really fun way to go about doing character meet and greets. That's a lot better than, like, wait in line, watch the character walk out from behind a door, pose for a couple pictures, and then he goes back into that door, right? Like, to me, that's the really fun thing about Avengers Campus. And I think that, like, they were getting there with Galaxy's Edge. I think Galaxy's Edge kind of shows a couple of those things, but the shows don't go far enough at Galaxy's Edge. It's just like Chewbacca beating a hammer on something, So this is one of those things with Spider-Man flying through the air and then crawling down the wall and everything, and then he's there to meet you. I mean, that's That's cool. That's awesome stuff. So, and I think they learned a lesson with COVID too, where that was one of the things that I learned that I really loved is like, I would rather watch Winnie the Pooh go out and chase butterflies than watch him watch him take pictures with a bunch of people standing there, and that's me. I know people do want to take photos as well. And Avengers Campus lets you do the best of both worlds. So
cool.
Very cool. And then the other thing, I mean, let's face it, like, what does California Adventure do best for me? It's like the food and drinks. And Avengers Campus takes it to a whole nother level with the different theming that they have for the food. I mean, the giant Impossible meatball is so tasty. It's one of my favorite things. And
I see pictures of that Choco Bar, and I'm like, God, I wish I could try that.
yeah, the giant chocolate bar that they make, the giant chicken sandwich, the not so little chicken sandwich they like to call it. It's just a lot of fun stuff that you can't get anywhere else. And yeah, it's just a piece of breaded chicken, but the way that they present it is really fun. And like even down to getting like the little beer flight that they have that's on the ruler with the little cups, and everything they thought of was just so smart, and it all tastes good from everything I've had so far anyway. And even the idea of the restaurant itself is so fun. Like, you can see, like, what's her name? Cassie Lang, I think, is, Ant-Man's daughter. She's got like some stuff in there, and they even talk about like her idea is that like, oh, this will be a lot easier to like take out trash and stuff. We'll shrink down the trash cans, and then we can have ants take the trash out for us.
So smart.
And I just think all that
Cassie,
stuff is brilliant. Yeah, Cassie, she's a genius lover. So I think those are really kind of my two things where they've exceeded expectations, is in the character design and like what they're doing, and then also just the food. I think those two things knocked it out of the park. I think, the ride could have been a little bit cooler, but it's still fun. I think it's a nice addition overall, honestly. But, I'm very excited to see what they bring with the Quinjet ride, which will eventually come. So
I have something to say when you're done.
Go for it.
Oh, okay.
It's time.
I think it's really cool that they keep changing Loki's outfit.
Yes,
Me too.
stuff like that, yeah.
It blew my mind because at first, he's in his normal Loki gear when we saw him, and then we were able to see him again for when we went to visit for his birthday. And then he's in his like TVA getup with the little like thing around his neck. And then I'm like, oh, that's so crazy. How long are they going to keep this?
Yeah.
And then it was like, boom, the next week he's in his little suit and tie and his jacket. And I'm like, I can't wait to see this. I think that's really neat that they're actually bringing this stuff to life.
Yeah.
And they're going to be moving it, because at Star Wars, it's just kind of like, blah, blah. It's like boring because nothing happens, and then nothing changes, and they try to create a story. And here it's just like, no, Loki's out right now. We're going to change his outfits and keep doing what's going on. And then you never know because they're probably going to bring out Captain Marvel at some point. And
she's there.
But they're going to change her hair or something probably for
Oh,
her
I
new
see what
movie.
you're
Like
saying,
they're going to probably evolve the characters as the movies
Right.
progress,
Adapting it to
so
the series.
I'm really
Yeah.
excited to see what they're going to be doing because everybody keeps asking like, where are these certain characters? And I'm like, just wait. They're going to come.
I think they made a huge mistake with Galaxy's Edge, like kind of trying to force it into a time, of that universe. And when there can be no Darth Vader, there can be no Baby Yoda, Grogu, whatever you want to call him. But then Disney itself has even just decided, screw that. We're gonna put Grogu in there. Like, we're making our money, whether you like it or not. So So I mean, and listen, the comic books can be kind of convoluted. Let's all be honest. And so for them to say like, no, Avengers Campus is like a center for a multiverse. Like, it's a goofy little thing to say, but the comic books have done it. So why can't a theme park do it? Right.
Yeah.
So it makes sense seeing Loki change his outfit, and we're going to definitely see changes throughout Avengers Campus's existence and see a lot of cool things.
No doubt about it. Very good. Well, we appreciate hearing what tops your list. Now, we turn it on over to all of you. Are you somebody that has visited Avengers Campus, had that opportunity? Let us know what tops your list is, some of the best things to do in the comments section. Or if you're somebody that has not been there yet, what are you most looking forward to? Again, you can check out on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel a couple of tips that both Tyler and Katrina have shared with all of you, so you can best prepare for when you next visit Avengers Campus, a California adventure.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.